Hi, everyone, and welcome to your Hotwire Communications virtual education session. My name is Emmett Frank, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use many of the different features on your Fission TV system. So let's get right into it. As we go through, I definitely recommend having your remote in your hand and following along. I will also have prompts on the screen indicating which buttons I'm going to be pressing. So to power on your TV and your set-top box, you are going to press that TV power button on the top right corner of your remote. Pressing that button will turn on your set-top box and your television set. If you do ever see the blue screen like this, that just means that your set-top box did not turn on simultaneously with your TV, and I recommend holding down your power button for approximately 1 to 2 seconds so your TV and your set-top box can turn on simultaneously. Not a big deal to turn it back on as well. If you have this screen, you can just simply press the OK button on the center of your remote, and that will turn on your set-top box. But like I said, I definitely recommend holding down that power button for approximately 1 to 2 seconds, and that should resolve any issue of your set-top box and your TV turning on not simultaneously. All right, so now that we know that, I can go over the navigation keys that I'm going to be utilizing. Those navigation keys are right over here. Those navigation keys, of course, up, down, right, and left. And those are what I'm going to be using to navigate through my menus and my guides. So going down, going right, going left. And then once I wanted to make a selection and I would go over to, let's say, after the bell right here, I would then press the OK button on the center of that right over here. And once you press that OK button, it will bring you into another page. And then you can go up and down again, select on a new item, and just like that. And let me just go into a few different pages just as an example for later. So now that I'm in multiple pages right now, to get back out of these pages, I will be using my back exit button, which is located right over here. If I tap that back exit button once, it'll go back a single page. If I hold it down, it'll exit out entirely. So I'm going to hold it down now, and it's going to exit out entirely back to live TV. So tap it once, we'll go back a single page, and holding it down will exit out entirely. And this back exit button will also dismiss any type of storm warning, any type of pop-up on the screen, or any of the banners that appear. You can press that back exit button and dismiss it, or even anything like the menu, you can dismiss that. And I'll get into all of those features in just a moment. But now that we know how to navigate around and exit out of the different pages, let's get right into your guide, which is going to be the main thing you're going to be utilizing to find different content you would want to watch. So I will press on guide, and here you're able to see the stations organized, 6 stations at a time in order right here. If you go down, you're actually ascending in stations, and if you go up, you're actually descending in stations, so just so you are aware. And if you notice as well, some stations have a gray border on the left side as well as a small looping arrow, if you can see that small arrow at the end of the title of the show. And those stations that have that arrow as well as the gray border are replay stations. So on a replay station, you are able to go back up to 48 hours and replay any of these shows on your guide. So I can use my left arrow, go to the left back in time, and let's say I wanted to watch this show that was on at 6 a.m. today. I can then press the OK button. And again, the OK button is right over here if you don't already know. I'm going to press OK, and then press OK one more time on watch. And just like that, I am watching something from earlier today. All right, so going back again to the guide, I can go over and go all the way back 48 hours. I can continue going back 48 hours. If you hold it down, it will go a little bit faster. So I'm going to hold it down. Now you see I'm on Thursday. Now I'm on Wednesday. And now I'm all the way back 48 hours right here. And now that I'm back here, you may notice as well, this last time slot right here is not available on replay stations, and that is because the time's currently 11:09, and the slot expired or started at 11 a.m., so you would have to go to the show directly afterwards, and you will be able to watch that entire show. But if you did want to watch the last few minutes of that previous show, you can rewind back to it. And I'll show you your time controls right now once we start this replay back here from almost 48 hours ago. So your time controls are going to be right over here. These time controls, the arrow on the left side is your rewind and jump back button. So if I press that rewind button, or the REW button on the left side, if I tap it once, it'll go back 7 seconds. But if I hold it down for about 1 second, it will start rewinding. If I press and hold it one more time, it'll rewind again a little bit faster. Press and hold again, rewind a little bit faster. And then I can press that play pause button in the center to play and pause it. And that is in the center of that red rectangle right there. And again, the opposite for the fast forward, just going forward, tap it once, it will go 30 seconds forward actually, and if you hold it down, it will fast forward as well. Hold it down again, fast forward even faster, hold it down again, even faster. So I'm going to stop it there. And as I said, if you remember the replay, I can't go back more than the 48 hours. And if you notice on that show, I wasn't able to play the entire playback. I can go back from that other episode and go back all the way. That gray portion is indicating exactly where the 48 hours is. So let me go back all the way to there. And if you see that I'm back all the way here, it may keep you from going back all the way at first, but if you go back all the way 48 hours, it's not going to let you pause, and that is because it's going to continually kick you up. So I recommend if you are trying to watch something, try to watch it within the maybe the first 40 hours just to make sure it is fully available depending on the slot. All right, so that was in your guide, and I am replayed right now. To exit back out to live TV, you can do one of two things. You can either press your back exit button, and again, that is right over here. If I press and hold that down, it'll bring up a prompt saying watch live TV, and I can simply press that. Or I can, I'm going to hit cancel for right now, or I can simply just change the channels up and down using the channel buttons right here. So channel up, channel down, that will reset as well. So now that I am back to live TV, I'm going to go back into the guide. And back in the guide, instead of going to the left to replay, I'm going to go to the right to record. So going to the right now, I can go on any station I would like, go into the future up to 10 days. I can go over here. Let's say this show right here, I'm going to press OK on that, and then it's going to give me the prompt to either record the episode or record the series or more show times. I'm going to record the series as an example, and then here I'm able to see I can record by the time, so any day, any time around 10 p.m., so that will record a show previously and possibly afterwards from that 10 p.m. slot. Any day, any time will record every single episode, and then any day, any time, once per day, we'll do any episode once per day. All right. So I'm going to leave it the way it is right now, or actually I'm going to change it to any day, any time. And then show type, I can change that to from first run and rerun, or to first run only, which will only record the new airings of that show. First run and rerun will give me every airing of that show. And then I can extend the recording time as well. This is mainly useful for any type of live broadcast, like a sporting event, that you can extend the time if you know it's going to go outside of its slot. For a series, you may not need to extend the time unless you're trying to get the next episode, or if you're trying to, if you know your series does go a little bit afterwards, you can extend the time, of course. So I'm going to set it to 30 minutes. And then keep, I can either keep until space is needed, and that will delete automatically once my DVR gets full, or until I erase, so it will keep it until I myself want to erase that recording. Or if you have a series that you are constantly watching, you can have it so it only records, let's say, 5 episodes, and after those 5 episodes, it will then delete the oldest episodes after it gets a new one. So I like my settings the way it is for my series. I'm going to go up to record and press OK, and that will then record the series, and I can see the 3 red dots indicating that it is a series recording. All right, to record a single episode, very simple. Just go right in, go to record episode, and you can change these settings right here. You're only going to have 2 on here, extending the time, as well as your keep settings for a single episode, and then you can just go and press record, and the single red dot is indicating that it is a single episode or a single movie being recorded. All right, so now that we know the guide, I'm going to go over the functions of each of the directional keys. So remember the directional keys right here. Each one of those has its own function. So the first function I'm going to go over is the down arrow. So pressing down will bring up that banner that appears whenever you're changing the channel. So even if it is not there, if you're changing the station and that does disappear, you can press the down arrow to get that back up again. So with that banner up, you can see the current station number, the station's call sign, the show name, how much time is left, and on the right side you can see the current time as well as a red rectangle on replay stations that you are able to then press OK, and it will replay that exact show from the very beginning. So you can just be flipping through the stations, find a show that you like, press OK, and it will replay that immediately. All right, with this banner up as well, you can see on the left side where it says just missed. So if I press the left arrow with that banner up, it'll bring up the just missed. On a replay station, I can go back to one of these and press OK on any of these, and it will replay that as well. Just another location on how to replay. Going down with this banner up and going to the right, you're able to see what's coming on next, and you can schedule a recording if you would like to. This is just the same as the guide, just a simpler way if you're just trying to continue watching what you're watching and you wanting to go through and wanting to record or replay a different episode. All right, so with this banner up as well, you can either press up and down, and you can cycle through the different stations and get a preview for certain stations as well while you're still watching this current show. So I can go, and as you see, I have a preview for this station. I can press OK on that, and it will go right over to that station. All right, so that was the down arrow with the banner. Next, I will go over the up arrow. So the up arrow will show you your recent shows you were watching. So as you see here, I can go back to a station I was watching earlier, click OK on that, and there I'm watching a show I was watching earlier or a station I was watching earlier. I can again press up, go back over to what I was watching, and continue watching it as well. All right, if I press the up and then the up arrow one more time, I can see my recent DVR recordings, and I can go and play back one of these recordings very simply. And you can also access your recordings from within the DVR, which I'll go over in just a moment. So remember, going up will bring up your recents. Going up one more time will bring up your recent DVR recordings. All right, so now the next 2 direction is the right arrow, I'm going to go first. So right arrow will bring up your viewing options. So going to the right will bring up these viewing options. Here you're going to see your live TV filters. In the live TV filters, you're able to pick and choose a specific genre or a movie style you want to watch. So let's say I want to watch a movie, and then let's say I want to watch a drama movie. So I'd go down to drama. And here you're going to see all of the drama movies that are currently being aired right now. If it is a replay station, you can, of course, go to one of them and replay it. And so let me just go to this station or this movie right here and press OK on that, and it will go to that station. Doesn't look like I am subscribed to that station at the moment. All right. All right, so going back again to your right, underneath your live TV filters, you have your favorite lists. So your favorite list, you can go to edit favorites, and you can go and create a list. You would see a tab that says add favorites. I have already created all of the favorite lists I can have, and that is 4. So to create a favorite list, you would just click on that add a favorite list. I'm going to edit this one for right now, and let me go through and uncheck all. So this is how it's going to look when you're setting up a new favorite list, and you're going to go and pick and choose the specific stations you want in your favorite list. So let's say 19 through 30 right there, and I can go and save that. And then when I go back out and back into my favorites, my favorite lists, right here, I can go to my favorites, the first one that I just edited. And now that I'm in my favorite list, when I turn the station using the station selector, I am only able to cycle through these stations, and even if I go back to the guide, it's only going to allow me to cycle through those stations on my favorite list. And to exit out of your favorite list is rather simple. You just have to type in the number of a station outside of your favorite list. So I know channel 2, for example, isn't in my favorite list, so I can type that in, and it's going to show that I've now exited out of my favorite list. Going back again to your right, below your favorite list, you have access to your audio and language if you do need to change it. You have access to your closed captions. You can press OK on that, go up to on, turn it on, and within a few moments, your closed captioning should start right there. I'm going to turn them off for the rest of the presentation. And then below that, you have your TV zoom, where you can zoom in your TV's picture. I recommend leaving it on normal for most TVs. Going below that, you have your channel search, which you may not need because you do have a voice control or your voice command option. So I'm going to go over that in a little bit later. And last direction that I haven't gone over yet is your left arrow. So pressing the left arrow will, of course, bring up your left side menu. And this is also your menu. So when you press your home button or your house button on your remote right over here, that will open up your menu, as well as pressing the left arrow will also open up the menu. So those two buttons will have the same functionality from that portion. So you can see here on the menu, you have your community page, and this is my test account, so this may not be your community, but going through your community page is where you're going to be able to see any type of announcement that your community has put out. So I can go through, as an example on this account, I can go over to the information from the community, and I can go through, I can see some management information right there, board meetings right here, useful numbers, security gate, and a few different things as well that my community has posted in the community page. And this is a premium community station, so there are a couple of features that aren't standard on your community station. If you do want to upgrade or you feel like you want to have this in your community, you can ask your account manager, and we can see if we can upgrade your community to that. So another feature in the Premium Community Station is the Community Live. So going to Community Live, this is going to provide a live feed of your community. I can see my guard gate right here. I can go to the right, see my other guard gate right here. If you have maybe a delivery coming, or maybe some yard work going on, you can see who is arriving if you would like. And if you have your children playing at the park, you can of course keep an eye on them as well if you do have this option. So that is the community page under your menu. So either pressing the left arrow or that house button again, that house button's right there. Below that, underneath your community page, you have your live TV tab. Here you're going to be able to see 3 different guide styles. The grid guide is of course your standard guide with stations going up and down and time slots going left and right. The channel list guide will show you channels going left and right and time slots going up and down. The on now guide will show you what's currently on now, what was on previously, and what's going to be on next. So these are the 3 different guide styles, and when you're going to press the guide button, it's going to always open your grid guide. And if you do prefer one of these other ones, you can of course go through the live TV tab, or you can change in your settings which guide you prefer, but I recommend the grid guide, the standard one. Below here, you can also see more live TV filters. Same way over there. Actually, these are a little bit less specific, so if I just go right to comedy, it's going to give me all comedy. It's not going to ask for a movie type or a show type. It's just going to ask for a specific genre of show. And down here as well, I have access to my favorite lists again over here. And if you aren't able to exit out, or another way to exit out of your favorite list is just going again over to your live TV, down to your favorites, and going to view all channels. And here you're going to be able to view all of your stations if you aren't able to exit out of that list. Going again to your menu. Below your live TV tab, you have your recorded TV tab. Recorded TV tab is the same as, of course, pressing your DVR button, which is right over here. So you can either go through the menu and go to recorded TV, or you can simply press the DVR button. So here in your recorded TV, you're able to see your recordings. Right here, I'm on sort by date, so it will record them as it will show them as I've recorded them. If I go to the right, it'll show it in alphabetical order. And if I go to the right again, it will give me the option to go and record from the guide. Going to the right again, I can see what I have scheduled for later today. And if I do have any type of recording conflict, so let's say I had 5 shows recording here. You are able to record 4 shows at one time. So let's say I had 4 shows recording, or 5 shows recording at this 4 o'clock time slot. I would then go over to one of them, and let's say I don't want to record this episode to resolve the conflict. I can go and press on don't record and cancel the episode just like that if I did want to. And I'm using the OK button after I've gotten to that. So I'm going to press OK again on don't record, press OK again. And that is how I cancel a recording. Going to the right again from scheduled, you're able to see your series. Here under series, I can go and pick on a series. I can see how many are scheduled, how many I have recorded. And if I did want to erase these recordings, I can go down to erase the recordings, and this will erase all of those episodes, just like that. And let's say I wanted to cancel the series. I no longer want to watch this show. I can go and press cancel series. And just like that, I have canceled that series from my DVR. So going back again to the main part of your DVR to play back one of your recordings, I'm going to go and play this show right here. And here you're able to see the playback. And using your playback controls, you're able to use them as you would like as well on your DVR recording. All right. So let me exit out now. You can hold down your back exit button and that will exit out of your recording as well. All right, so going back again to the menu, below the recorded TV tab, you have your on-demand tab. And again, there is another physical button you can press, which is right over here, your on-demand button. So you can either go through the menu or press the on-demand button and see your on-demand. Here you're able to see all of the featured movies right over here. If it is a paid movie, you'll see, of course, the price right there and a $ indicating that it is a rental movie. And if you are wanting to watch some free movies, I'll show you how to access those right now. You're going to go down to movies, going to the right, going down to free movies, going all the way to the right to view more. And here you're able to see all of the movies listed by the providers of those movies. So there's MGM, LMN, Hallmark, FX Movie Channel, FX, BBC America, and a few more. And going through to one of these movies, I'll go to this movie right here, press select on that, or press OK, and I can see here on a free movie that it says free and a play sign indicating that it is a free movie, so I can then press OK, and that will start playing my movie. And if you notice, I am not able to fast forward a movie like this, a on-demand movie, but I can use my jump forward button. So I can't fast forward. I can only use that jump forward button. And again, your playback controls are right up here. So that right fast forward, I can only tap it to go forward 30 seconds each time. So if I wanted to go forward, I can continue tapping it. I just cannot fast forward. But you can rewind as much as you would like and use your jump back button as much as you like as well. All right, so let me go back into the on-demand one more time, and that is because I'm just going to show you how to change your display style. The current display style I am in is not the standard one, so to change that, you would go down to display style all the way down from your on-demand menu, and you will change that from list view to the grid view, which I'm currently in. I'm going to show you what your list view looks like, which you are currently in. So this is the list view. And I recommend the grid view, which will show the movies a little bit better where you're able to see them. So I'm going to go back up again, and this is your grid view. So it looks a little bit more aesthetic to the eye, and if you want to pick a new show or movie. All right, so let me exit out of that. Going back again to my menu, below the on-demand tab, you have the apps tab. In the apps tab, you're able to see the news apps. These are currently not available, but these are something we are working on, and these will show some recent news in each specific genre. But what is available right now is your weather tab. You can see the current weather forecast in your area. So if you want to see your weather forecast, you can simply go right over to your menu. Let me go back to your menu, go down to apps, and then go down to weather, and you can see your current weather forecast. All right, going back again to the menu, below apps, you have Mosaics. Mosaics, you're able to see news, kids, and sports. I'm going to go to sports as your example. And here you're able to see 4 different sports stations at one time. So if you notice on the right side, I can use my up and down arrow to pick and choose one of the boxes with the station, and I can then press the OK button on that station and watch it on the larger screen. And then if I wanted to watch this on a full screen, I can press my back exit button, and again, that's right over here. I can press that back exit button and hold it down, and it will exit back out to a full screen of that station. To go back in to my Mosaics, I can tap that back exit button once, and that will bring me back into the Mosaics. I can pick a new show or a new station, go right over to it, hold down that back exit button, and go to a full screen. And I'll go back into the mosaics again and go over back to the golf if I wanted to. So that is your mosaics under your menu. Going back again to your menu, underneath mosaics, you have your help tab. In the help tab, you're able to see any type of help video you may need. You can see storm preparedness, mobile app setup, your voice control reset if you did need it, or your Alexa voice command, your pin for purchases, voicemail setup, and a few other helpful videos you can see on here as well. And below the help tab, you have your search tab where you can do a manual search. And again, you are a voice command customer, so you can use your voice remote as you please. So you can either type in manually like this to search for something, or you can use your voice command, which I'll go over in just a moment. Going to the left one more time, going all the way down to settings, this is where you're going to be able to change any of the settings you may want to. You can change your menu language, your primary guide style. So if you wanted to change that to the list view, if you wanted to, you can change your guide view from there. You can change your screen's aspect ratio if you do need to, but if you don't need to change any of the settings, I definitely don't recommend changing any of them. They will run properly on your TV unless you do know you do need to change one of the settings. One of the settings I do actually recommend changing, and I will show you how to do that fully, is you're customizing your channel guide. So going over to settings, going down to channel customization right here, customize channel guide, I can go over and I can, instead of picking and choosing my favorites of my stations, I can keep all of those stations, but I can actually deselect stations I no longer want to appear in my guide if maybe I'm not subscribed to them, or maybe I just don't want them appearing on my guide. I can get rid of them as I'd please, go and save that. And when I go back over to my guide now and go back down to the channels I've gotten rid of, it's going to show a big block of stations that I've omitted from my guide right here. So if you see, it's going right from 11 to 29. All right, so that is how you're going to change your settings. And let me show you how to revert that guide again. So going back down to settings, going back to the customized channel guide, and going to check all and save. And just like that, you've saved your channel list guide back to normal. All right, so that is many of the different features. Just a couple more things to go over. So your voice command is right over here. And with your voice command, you're able to use the voice command. And if I press it down and say a command and then release it, that's how you're going to utilize it. So pressing down that voice command button, Food Network, and release, it will go over to the Food Network. Actually, this is a perfect thing right here. If you do see that your voice service is not available, there is something that you can do to fix that, and that is going to channel 8056 and going and pressing OK on this page and clicking on reactivate, and that should fix your voice command. If you do need to restart it, you can go and restart it right there, but I'll test it out right now. Food Network. And there we go. We have successfully reset up that voice command. This is just because I have switched this box out today. And going over some of the other voice commands, I can go and say rewind, and it will start rewinding. I can say pause, and it will pause it. I can say skip back 3 minutes, and it will skip back exactly 3 minutes with my command. and I can say go to a specific show or a specific actor. I can say Dwayne Johnson, and it will search the actor, and I can see those search options right here. I can go in and see the different content he's going to be in, and I can see when it's going to be aired. All right, so that is your voice command, and just a couple more buttons to go over that I haven't gone over yet. So after, let's say you're going to a station right here, and you want to find out more information about this station, you can press your info button right here, and that will bring up information about that show, where you can see the original air date, the option to record it if you would like, more show times, and that is using your info button. And last button that I'm going to go over today is your pound sign on the bottom right, your number sign, or your TV input. If you hold that down for approximately 1 to 2 seconds, it'll open up your TV input menu, and that's how you're going to change in between your TV inputs. So if you're on HDMI 1 for your set-top box, you would change it over to HDMI 2 if you do have a smart device plugged into your television. And that is going to conclude today's presentation. I hope you found all of the different functions useful, and you have a great rest of your day.